I talked to you last night.
Oh, Roger, this is Chris?
Yes.
Roger, Chris. Yeah, we got lost on that last one, I think. I forget where we were, but it didn't work out too well. But you were the one that gave me the Irvine, Kentucky repeater?
Yeah. One of them's Richards, the 180, and the other one is the 610, 146 610 is, I'm trying to think of his name. I know it well as I do my own. Anyway, yeah, I know of them both. I've met Richard, but I ain't met the other gentleman, Randall's his name.
Roger. The one that's got the 146 820, that's the one I've got logged in. And it's in and out. It's not real, real heavy like this BEREA repeater, man. It's a bulldog.
Roger. Yeah, it's pretty tough up north and stuff. Yeah, I don't know where it's at or anything.
Yeah, those conditions are trying to come back in there, kind of in and out a little bit, but still in all, it's making the trip, which is great. I forget how far we figured BEREA was from New Albany.
Oh Lord, I don't know a good distance. Yeah, you're Albany is what? 40 miles north of Louisville?
No, we're probably about 3 miles north of Louisville.
Okay. I've been through there and stuff like that. I just didn't know how far it was. Actually, I'm got family that live up in Indianapolis. What is it? I thought it was farther than that, but yeah, it's probably only 3 miles. But let's see, and BEREA is down below Richmond. Let's see, you got BEREA, Richmond. I can't only think what the mile marker is or whatever stuff, but on I-75, it'd probably be at the, what is it, 60-something mile marker? I'm probably telling you wrong, but I don't know. It's a good little ways away from you. It's every bit of 100 miles, if not more.
Oh, Roger, it's starting to fade down a little bit. You were solid all the way through and just started fading right at the end. Yeah, it's trying to come back up. We must have had a plane fly between us. It was kind of chattering like a airplane might have flown between us, Roger.
I don't know. I don't know the conditions are coming and going. When you're in there, though, you're in there solid. Anyway, yeah, you going to the ham fair?
When is that?
It's coming up weekend.
Like tomorrow?
No. Well, it'll be next weekend. Weekend that's coming up. We're already in, what is it, Sunday? Thursday, Sunday. But it'll be, the ham-vention order and stuff, it's, what is it, 15, 16, 17, something like that. But yeah, it's up for Dayton, alright?
Roger, yeah, I could use some stuff. Of course, I got to have some money. That's a little trip from where I am to Dayton, Ohio, but we've had 2 down here that I've missed, so I definitely want to go to one, because I haven't really been to any yet, and it'd be kind of interesting. Of course, you really need a bofang when you go, so you can talk to people while you're there, and meet people and all that stuff.
Roger. Yeah, and HT, yeah, I got one. Actually, I got 2, but I don't know what else. Yeah, I think I know what the other one's at, but I got one. I got it at the, at the Richmond Ham Fest. I got it up there. I took and sold a big bunch of equipment or whatever stuff to get a down payment for a truck.
ebb and flow of equipment. I try to keep as much of my equipment as possible. You know, because you never know. It always seems to cost more the second time you get it than the time when you had it last. But I'm going to try a new antenna experiment. This antenna I'm talking to you on is made, the elements are not copper. They're, hot dip galvanized elements, which is about 8th ranked as far as conductivity. And then there was some talk about the, the galvanized wearing off and being about the 20th worst conductor. So I've got 2 of them, the one I'm talking to you on and another one. And the one I'm talking to you on works better than the other one. So I'm going to take the other one and remake it with copper. All the elements will be copper, and then I'll be able to test it against this one to see what difference it makes, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, that makes sense. That seems like it, yeah, well, that one seems like it's working good, so I don't think you'll have any problem.
Well, that's a neat part about, this thing being able to, at least the way I try to work it is keep one and, build something else and compare it. And then if it's better, go to that one. And, that way you keep improving the situation as opposed to standing still. I mean, if there's no difference, that's the end of that project. But if, like from going to an all galvanized antenna to a all copper antenna, there's only one other conductor better than copper, and that's silver. And silver's so expensive that they only use that when they absolutely have to. So I'll be as best as I possibly could be using the copper, and that will be a good antenna to compare with this antenna, Roger.
I had a friend do that, order stuff, and it didn't turn out too good for him. He went from aluminum. It was, I don't know if you've seen one or not, but it was an 8-element Joe gun's what it was. One of the star versions. They got got the flat side, and then they got straight up vertical, and the flat side comes down like a I don't know, like a loop or whatever. It's not a loop, comes down in like an angle. They call it the star version. And he took all them elements off of it and put copper on there. And man, I'll tell you, that antenna went to pieces. He had perfect standing weight before, and then when he put that back up there, it just went all to pieces. So, yeah, it's definitely, you're going to have your work cut out for you changing that around.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I have not paid particular attention to the SWR situation. I actually burnt my SWR bridge up, so I'm kind of flying blind. But apparently everything's working pretty well. So I think that going to all copper will be a better situation than the galvanized situation. But I don't know that to be true until I do it. But, as long as you follow accurately the measurements, it's hard to go wrong. And this particular design of antenna that I use is it's an 8-foot boom with 7 elements. And the elements measurements are in inches and aspects of inches, like 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, as opposed to, weird measurements that are hard to get off. These are very deliberate measurements. And I think the guy said he sacrificed 1/2 dB by making the measurements, crystal clear in inch aspects. So, it really makes it easy when you're building one.
Roger, I'd like to try one. I'd like to try to make one. That's what I love to do, man. I love fooling with antennas. I've got, I don't know how many antennas stacked around for 2 meter now. I've got an A3S up. And that thing was, it was pretty easy to put back together. I've got a, well, the antenna's 32 foot long. It's at 17B2. I did have it on the vertical. I flipped it over on the vertical and tried it like that for a little while. But it didn't like it. I didn't like it either, man, because that's a lot to turn around up there. I mean, a whole lot. You're talking about 16 foot on each end. When I had it at, it was butting into a tree. It was god-awful.
Roger. Yeah, the most important thing when you go vertical is to be sure that your transmission line does not run parallel to your any of your elements. In other words, you come from your driven element along the cross boom to the center point where it's balanced, and then make a big loop out and come back down to your mast pipe, but make that loop big enough that it doesn't come into play with any of your elements, because that definitely will detune the whole antenna if it runs straight down parallel with your elements.
Roger. And the way I've got it run now, I've got it run straight down the back of the bone. It, you know, on the 17B2, they got that box on them, you know, with 75 ohm in them. I can't remember what they call them, but they got some name for that box or whatever. All it is a couple pieces of 75, you know, to bring out the SWR in it or whatever. But yeah, it worked. I mean, it worked good on vertical. It's just so hard to swing around when there was stuff, man. You had trees all the way around me. Anyway, it's on the flat side now, and it's about 40, no, it's about 55 feet now. The one that I use, or whatever stuff when I'm out there, is a set of stacked 10, so 148 or something like that is. Got two of them, got me a gun, and just started stacking. And built me a harness, whatever stuff, and it come out. I built each antenna, and then checked the, you know, hooked the coax to it. SWR was good on each antenna, and then I was like, man, if I put these together and they go to part, you know, that SWR goes to pieces. But I'm running about a 1.2, 1.3 on two antennas. That ain't bad.
No, not at all. Now, what do you use them for? I mean, because if they're on the flat side, obviously you're going to suffer about 20 to 30 dB loss working anything vertical. Roger?
They're not on the flat, they're on the vertical. I've got them about, well, the specs call for 78 inches apart. I've got them almost 80 inches apart, and they're on the vertical. The 10s are. That's what the big beam one and stuff like that. I got it for sideband. I sit there and listen to them. Yeah, there ain't nothing going on. And when you do find somebody, they just want to talk to you about your grid square. That's all they want to know. But yeah, I found out real quick sideband wasn't my thing. But yeah, I just stuck it up there more or less to get it up off the ground. I was going to take it and get rid of it at the Hamfest, but I decided against it. I'm interested in seeing that antenna you got. I want that 8-foot thing or whatever stuff. That'd be real handy for a lot of people that I know. KG4UHB.
Roger, KC9VKV. Well, it's, like I say, it was a Lowe's or Home Depot special. The crossboom is inch by inch and a half, 8-footer. You have to find a straight one, which is really tough. I mean, I have to when I get one, it usually takes me about half an hour to go down there and go through all those pieces of wood to find one that's fairly straight, you know. But I do usually clamp it to a PVC T, a T made out of PVC pipe. So the PVC kind of keeps the crossboom from, you know, since being wood, try to warp. And also it's easy to mount. And you know, when you mount it vertically, you've got to make sure that your pipe support mast is plastic, because you know a regular steel mast will detune that vertical antenna because it's right beside it, right almost, you know, parallel to the anything parallel to those elements that's metal is going to pose a problem. So I usually support the top crossboom with a like 1.5 inch PVC pipe, about maybe 2 to 2.5 feet tall, which keeps, you know, all metal well away from the elements themselves, Roger.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. You're just flipping it over the mast pipe. That way it keeps the mast pipe from interfering with your antenna. Any no kind of conductivity order. You get through the, yeah, that's a good idea right there. I ain't never tried that, but yeah, seems like a real good idea.
Yeah, what you want to try to do is to get that antenna in free space as much as possible, because, you know, then the design of the antenna directionality is most effective. And this one, you know, like I said, I've got two of them. One's on a rotor and one's on a 20-foot. The one I'm talking to you right now is on a 20-foot pole, metal. Two of them put together, two 10-foot sections put together with the antenna at the top out on the deck. And so I use that for hand tuning, and I've got a plate underneath it, and there's a pointer hooked to the support mast with a pointer on it. And so as I align it to different places, I make notes on this plate at the bottom, so I can come back to that place. It's marked geographically then, so I don't have to re-aim. I did some re-aiming with a compass, and that's pretty good. And you know, within probably 5 or 10 degrees accuracy, plus or minus. But when you actually tune it by ear or by meter, whichever one, you get right on it, you know, and then you can mark it to come right back to it, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, I'm fixing to make me a fold over thing for like a 30-foot tire. I'm gonna put it out here or whatever stuff. So I can put. I need a set of beams right here. I'm gonna put them up in a tree, about 50 foot. Get me a 20-foot pipe and stick it up out of a tree or whatever stuff as far as I can. I need a beam right here. It's what I'm running is a little bit JB2 out here. Now, out in my other place, it's the tire's 110 foot tall. I'm running it's a Diamond 510 X or something like that, vertical, and then I got them stacks on that, and then I got 3 tires up out there. I ain't got none up out here. I just got everything in trees and, yeah, on the back deck or whatever and stuff. Yeah, it's just not, I need a small tire for HF.
Roger. Yeah. You know, they say height is everything, and like I say, my 2 antennas right now are at 20 feet each, and one's on the rotor and one's hand aimed. But I haven't gotten to the point of, I've got a 50-foot tower, So I guess if I were to run them on up the tower and put a rotor up there, it would be gangbusters. But that is a lot of work, and there's a lot of other stuff up there on the tower that I'd just as soon not have to mess with it right at the moment. There were 36 antennas on that tower at one time, and I decided I didn't need a bunch of them. So the way it was, I would do a project with an antenna, and when I came to the end of the project, I would just leave the antenna. And so I decided that, and after a while, it became real interesting trying to climb the tower because there were so many side-mounted antennas on it. So I did decide when we hit some 40-mile-an-hour winds, I said, well, this must be tower climbing weather. So I started taking those antennas down, and I got all the antennas down except for the antennas right at the top 10-foot section. And obviously that's prime real estate up there. There's so much stuff up there, it's pathetic, and it's almost impossible to, it would take you days to to take those antennas down. So I haven't managed to make it to the top of that tower in a few years, Roger.
Good Lord. What all do you have up there? Don't mind me being nosy. I mean, what's up there now? Just the last 10 foot.
Oh, let's see. There's a 5/8 10 meter. There's a 70 centimeter 7 element vertical horizontal. There's a couple of UHF VHF long range TV antennas. There's a 900 megacycle 7 element. There's let's see here. There's 2 or 3 900 element 900 megahertz antennas up there. But like I say, it's actually all right in the last top 5 feet is where all that is.
Right. Yeah. Did you do a lot of 900 megahertz?
Not well, some. I did some experimentation with cordless phones, and I had I was working a cordless phone 6 blocks, so I could walk in the park with a cordless phone. This was I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, before cell phones were really gangbusters. So I used my cordless phone.
Cool. Yeah, I know the ones you're talking about. Where stuff.
And this was before also what do you call it, home radio, those little radios that you buy at Wally World and all that stuff. This was just a 900 megahertz cell phone, and I just replaced the one antenna with another antenna and some RG6 up to about 50 foot to a 7 element. Well, let's see. That one might have been more than that. I think that was like a 13 element up there, and just aimed at the park. And I could actually walk. This park has got a lake which is about a mile around, and I would actually have a hot spot about in the middle of the lake where this antenna, being multi-elemented, would the signal was so tight that I could actually tell when I was going through the center of the beam.
Right. Yeah, that's what I like is rejection or whatever stuff. A lot of when you're up pretty good distance or whatever stuff, if you're got a lot of height or whatever stuff, or repeaters are on the same frequency. On this one, there's another repeater in there too that I can't hear it here, but out there I can hear it, and I can hear it real good. But with that beam or whatever stuff, them stacks, those feel pretty good. They're not. Well, I don't know. I ain't had nothing up yet. It's been able to beat them in rejection wise. and I run quads and this and that. I've got a 9 quad, and that thing's like 14 foot long or something like that. I was going to take it to the Hamfest and sell it, but I hate to give up my measurements.
Well, I mean, I just figure, you know, to each his own, and maybe I can, you know, the guy makes the money, maybe he'll make one, I can buy it and not have to make it, you know, but if it's the same specifications, I think. This one, it was actually a 6-element, and I added an element to make it 7 to utilize the 8-foot piece of wood as opposed to cutting off 1.5 feet of it.
I'll have to try one. See if I can build one. If I find any literature on them, whatever stuff, the only thing that gets me is that the driven element. Now, I don't understand how that works. That's what you're talking about. I understand how a driven element works, but not the one you're talking about.
Right. Well, if you would see a TV antenna, which would use a folded dipole as a driven element, and that is that you have this piece that runs all the way across the top, and then both ends bend around and come back to the middle, and your 300 ohm cable attaches to those pieces that come back in the middle. Well, this is the same thing, except that it only does it on one side. The other side just goes all, you know, right where it would bend under to come back, it cuts off, so it's just out there by itself. But the other end bends back around and comes back to the middle, and that is the hot driven part, and your ground goes up to the one that runs all the way across.
I'm still not getting a picture of it, but the hot side is like where you put your center of your coax. And can you take that up and down in just the same ways?
The one end that hangs, you know, goes all the way across, you can shorten that or add to that depending on what you need to do for the frequency. What I usually use is, you know, those copper connector jobbers. They've got a large screw and a U-bolt kind of thing, and they're very small, but you know, and then I just start walking it out towards the tip to find out whether I need to, you know, to add or to lose some metal. And, you know, as you go out with this thing, if it starts, your SWR starts rising, then it doesn't need any more metal. I take that off, and then I'll start filing or trimming the that element to, and looking at the SWR as I do it.
Right. Okay. I didn't know how you know, setting your SWR on that, because it'd be hard to throw a, yeah. I kind of get it now, I think.
Yeah, just think of it, and obviously, you know, the other elements are center holes on this on this piece of wood, except this one. There are 2 holes on the edge, on each edge, because it's about an inch separation between where it bends over and comes back to the middle.
And those kind of antennas work. I got a friend down there, he wanted me to build a quad. I looked those things up, and they're pretty neat looking. Back quad and front side, you know, regular element.
Roger that. KC9VKV. This driven element is 58.5 inches wire long, 58.5 inches, 58.5 inches of wire long. Then the driven element itself is 38.5 inches from one end to the bend where it goes back towards the middle. 38.5 inches, and then it's 1 inch between those two where it bends and comes back underneath itself. So you take a 58.5-inch piece of wire and bend it at 38.5 inches to where it comes back towards itself in the middle. And the one that is bent, that only is half that distance, that's the driven element, and the ground is the piece that runs all the way across from one side to the other, the 38.5 inches.
Yeah, you got to post that thing on your QRZ page or something. I ain't looked at that.
Yeah, well, it's really simple. I tell you what, if you want it, I've got a name here that you might. I got this off the internet. Let me give you the name if you got a pen there.
Go ahead. I got a laptop right in front of me.
All right, it's Kent, K-E-N-T, B-R-I-T-A-I-N, and the call is WA5VJB, WA5 Victor Jones Bravo.
WA5 Victor Jones Bravo.
Roger that.
Roger. Okay.
You should be able to find that.
Yeah, I'll look it up in a little bit. Check it out. Pretty interesting. So it is, yeah. But that's my passion, one of the stuff. I'm trying to build, come up with a way to build a 40-meter beam. And I haven't much luck with it, so I've been looking at them Maxons, trying to make one of them. But it's still going to be huge no matter what.
Yeah, and you're going to have a lot of compromise there because of the frequency versus the distance that you can actually use to make it work. Because yeah, you're going to be loading out on the edges to make that work. When you find that antenna, I added a front element, and the spacing distance between that, the spacing for the added element is 88 inches, and the element length itself is a copy of the one right in front of it, which is 32.75 inches long. So you just add those two things to the as the seventh element, since this is actually for a 6-element beam. Oh, I tell you what, I'm going to have to jump out of here, man. Good yapping at you, and I appreciate the comeback. And like I say, we are in uncharted territory here on the Qso distance and all that stuff. Only faded once or twice, I think.
Yeah. Other than that, I couldn't believe how solid you're in there, man. You might want to check the antenna out. Make a build one in. Yeah. Be worth the shot, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, it's been a pleasure getting to talk to you. What's your name one more time? I'm horrible with names. I got this beam pulled up here looking at it.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, it's really cheap to build, you know, and like I say, if you really wanted to do it on the cheap, go back to their Home Depot's fencing department. That's what I used. They have a thing there. It's 2 pieces of fencing wire with cross bridges across it, about 5 inches wide by 8 foot long or so, and I just cut the cross pieces out and used the galvanized part to make the whole antenna. So that's what I'm talking to you on now. But like I say, I did just go down and buy a 30-foot roll of copper 8, I think it was, for about $30. This is, like I say, an experiment, so whatever. If you're around tomorrow, I'll give you a shout on this repeater. I'll say 3s right now, and this is KC9VKV, and we'll be clear on your final.
Alrighty, yeah. Got it right here. That's neat. But now I see what you're talking about. It's a pleasure. Yeah, I'm usually monitoring this one or the 610 or something. I've got a C71 in front of me. I can monitor, you know, 2 channels at one time on it. Anyway, yeah, it's good to get to talk to you. KG4UHB. I'll be clear.